Every year, Leafs Twitter has a meltdown far too prematurely into the season, and every year I am still amazed at the breakdowns people have this early on. Guys, it's only the start of the season. We're fine. We're good. Just breathe. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, make sure to like and subscribe. I'm Victoria and I talk about all things Leafs hockey related from across the pond in Scotland, and we are on another episode of my Leafs weekly analysis where I just do a quick recap and breakdown of the games from the past week. Enjoy! So it's week 2 of the regular season and the Leafs had a semi-mixed week, but it was mainly good. It was mainly good. We had 3 games, we had 1 loss, but we had 2 wins, so overall, much better. And overall I did think a better week than last week. I will pop up here last week's analysis if you want to go back and visit that one. So our first game this week was on Monday and it was against Arizona, and we lost that one 4-2. It was a bad start to the week and a concerning one because, of course, on paper, the Leafs should be beating Arizona, right? But that's not how hockey works, which is a good thing because it makes things far more exciting. However, losing at home to Arizona 4-2, little bit worrying, but then when you break it down a little further, it seems less concerning. So of course, as the Leafs curse goes, Nick Ritchie scored the first goal, which you can't write it, and you know, everyone should always put a bet on if the Leafs are playing against someone who we used to have playing for us, you should probably bet on them to score the first goal or just score a goal in general, because that seems to be how it works. It's hilarious. I should have saw that one coming, to be honest, but good for Nick Ritchie. I'm very much someone who, even when someone doesn't play for us anymore, I'm very glad to see someone doing well elsewhere. I'll always be that kind of person, and I certainly feel that way about Nick Ritchie because he is flourishing where he is now, whereas he never seemed to do very well for us. So good for him. No hate on Nick Ritchie whatsoever, none. However, it is funny that this always happens to the Leafs. So Ritchie scored in the first, Fisher scored in the second period and made it 2-0 Arizona, and the Leafs weren't looking good at that point. Then Nylander and Marner actually both scored to make it a tie game, which, great, we love a little comeback. And then Arizona scored a power play goal, and then they also got an empty netter to make it 4-2. But the reason this score has been a controversial one amongst Leafs fans is certainly that Kerfoot scored. He tied the game with 39 seconds left, but the Situation Room called it for a review and it was called off as a hand pass. It was a disallowed goal, which caused a lot of arguments between people. So it was to do with, you know what, I'll pop up the explanation here just in case you will probably have seen it, but I'm going to pop it up here anyway. And I understand that going by this, they technically did make the right call. It seems like an odd sort of rule, and it's one that I wouldn't have spotted, and I think it's more frustrating that the on-ice officials didn't see it. I think that's the main part of this that was causing issues for people, but anyway, we lost. But taking that part out of it, we can't be relying on stuff like that in order to win. At the end of the day, if we'd played better throughout the whole game, it wouldn't have mattered that tying it up then on a goal that wasn't a goal. It wouldn't have mattered because we would have been ahead of them before that. So there's only so far you can blame incidents like this. Sometimes you have to say, well, they didn't play well enough either, so it is what it is. We had more shots, we won more face-offs, but we just weren't getting the finish where Arizona clearly were. And so that was Monday's game. A loss to start the week. It wasn't a good start, and there was a lot of breakdowns on Twitter, as I said in the beginning. Moving on Thursday we played the Dallas Stars and we won 3-2 in overtime. Currently right now there is always one game a week that I am falling asleep for because life is just so chaotic and busy right now. And that was that game for me. I did see some of it. There aren't any of the games so far that I haven't seen at least a section of, but I haven't been well this week. I don't know if you can still hear it, but I was so unwell last week. I had this horrible cold. You know when you're ill, you just fall asleep all the time? That was me this week, and so I fell asleep for the majority of the game against Dallas, so I didn't see most of it. I certainly didn't see the end. But I did catch up with it thereafter. I do, if I miss anything of a game, I do go and like catch up with it the next day or so. But it's always harder to formulate opinions when you didn't watch something live, I feel. That's one of the reasons I watch them live. People always ask me, why don't you just watch them back? Because I like my opinions to be based on watching something live and then going over it afterwards. That's how I like to do things. But anyway, the Dallas game didn't see very much of. It was very evenly matched from what I saw. What I loved, Nick Robertson. So happy for Nick Robertson. What an amazing guy he is. Unreal. Scored 2 in that game, including the overtime winner. And he was assisted by Matthews and Riley on that, which was good to see. And the Leafs did outshoot them 43-28, but the rest of the stats were very even. So it seems like Dallas are a good team for us to play against this year. I like tight games. It's as much as I like a win, I love when we win and it's tight games. Overtime makes me sweat though, for sure. And overtimes, as I said in my video last week about how important it is to try and hang on to even just a tie just to get a point out of overtime, because obviously in the opener against Montreal they threw away the game, you know, with like 18 seconds left, and it would have been so much better if they'd been able to take it to overtime. Even if you lose in overtime, you're only losing 1 point, whereas losing in regulation and missing out on both points is a lot more damaging over time. So great to see that they were able to go into overtime, and especially great that they were able to win in overtime, and especially great for Nick Robertson because I'm just so happy for that guy. I saw the video of his mum getting, oh, they're just so cute, so wholesome, loved it. And then just on Saturday there, we played against Winnipeg and we won 4-1, and I was awake for the entirety of this game, unlike the Dallas one, because I was feeling better by Saturday night. I honestly think that Winnipeg might be the best rivalry for us right now in the NHL. I saw a lot of other people saying the same on Twitter. That was a feisty game. That was a really feisty game. It was a bit scrappy. I really liked it. It was a good game of hockey to watch. It was very entertaining, even sometimes, not even just the fact we won, just the fact that there was sort of this rivalry in it that made it much more exciting than what a lot of the other matchups have been like. So that was the most entertaining game I think that we've had so far this season, was against Winnipeg. Even better that we won. They did give up a goal early in the first period, which was a disheartening start. Dubois scored that, did he? Yes, he did. But Tavares got 2, Cam scored, and so did Bunting. Oh, Michael Bunting, I love him. It was just a good, feisty game. Was concerned about Austin Matthews. Obviously, he got his back checked out during one of the TV breaks, and he just didn't seem to. He still doesn't seem to be quite on his game yet, but I'm sure it'll come. But it would be nice to see him taking more shots. I know Austin is becoming a lot more physical this year, but personally, I would rather he just was shooting the puck and scoring. I don't care if Austin Matthews is physical or not. I honestly don't care. Like, there's other people in the team that maybe should have some physicality. Austin Matthews, I don't want him getting hurt. I want him scoring goals. I don't care how physical he is. I care if he's scoring or not. I don't care if I'm seeing him getting ragdolled again. You know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know. I don't care. I want him to be scoring. I don't care how physical he is. But anyway, 4-1 against Winnipeg. Can't complain. So my final thought, much better week than last week. Seemed to be settling in a lot more. Taking it to overtime, unlike last week, which is great. And even a loss against Arizona. Obviously there was the whole incident with the goal that wasn't a goal. There was all that stuff, right? It is what it is, right? There's nothing you can do, and arguing on Twitter about it isn't going to change the outcome. So put forward your opinions. I respect other people's opinions and then just leave it be. So that is all from me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this weekly analysis. Comment down below what you thought of the Leafs this week, and also comment if you like me doing the weekly analysis videos, because they work well into my schedule currently right now as well. So yeah, I'm enjoying them. So thank you so much for watching, and I will be back with more hockey chats from across the pond soon. Bye guys.